Bhagavad Gita advocates a golden middle path in everything in life. No extremes. Yuktahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. This particular shloka occurs in the Dhyana Yoga, that is the 6th chapter. Dhyana, meditation, contemplation, prayer, all this can remove your sorrows from life if you are balanced in your life. What do you mean by balance? Yuktahara viharasya. In matters of food, recreation, exercise, sleep, and even activity, you should follow the middle path. You should never go to extremes. With regard to food, fasting is an extreme. You need to avoid that. At the same time, overeating, overindulging is also wrong. Middle path is the right path. This is the first principle which everybody can practice. And in my life, I have experienced that this is good about everything in life. Go to economics, politics, sociology, sports, any field you go, middle path is the best path. For example, take economy. People talk about left and right. Left has failed, and right also has failed. And everywhere, people are veering around to the mixed economy. So that is the middle path. So middle path in everything is the best path. That is what the Bhagavad Gita points out. Later on, Buddha also pointed out the same point. That is point number 1. The second is how we people can transform our activity in life, whatever activity we involve in, into a kind of spiritual practice by which we will be able to attain the spiritual goal. See, we cannot sit for hours for meditation or contemplation. We can't also set apart quite a lot of time for study of scriptures. And we have our daily routine, daily duties. Is it possible to transform our activity itself into sadhana, activity itself into a kind of spiritual practice? See, that is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. To transform karma into karma yoga. To transform even our activity into yoga. That is the path shown by Bhagavad Gita, because when Arjuna wanted to run away from the field of activity, that is the battlefield, there, Krishna taught him the right thing. He said, you need not have to run away. In order to achieve the highest salvation, highest spiritual goal, self-realization, God-realization, you need not have to run away from the active life. You can be there, but in the performance of your activity, there should be a change of attitude in you, neither change of place or not change of activity also. There should be a change of attitude in your way of life. See, that's what Lord Krishna, the Gita Acharya, has commanded, has taught. And there are 5 sentences which could be the 5 stepping stones to practice Karma Yoga. All the 5 sentences I quote from Bhagavad Gita. The first is Yogaha Karmasu Kaushalam. First thing is, don't bother about God, don't bother about spiritual goal, don't bother about anything. First, whatever you are doing, you should do it with excellence, with efficiency, with perfection. Yogaha Karmasu Kaushalam. That is the first thing. Don't worry whether God is happy with you or not. You need not have to worry about whether you have desire for the result. See, initially, without desire for the result, nobody can work. There will not be any motivation. A student has to study, therefore, he should have the motivation of coming out with flying colors in the examination. A businessman has to do business. You should have the motivation of profit in business. Or anybody else, a promotion in his job, whatever it is, some motivation is required. Therefore, it is not the question of giving up the desire for the result of the action. First thing is, you do your job perfectly. What do I mean by that? Whatever you do, the service that you are offering, to whomsoever you are offering, they should be satisfied. That is the First to test of your doing your job well with efficiency or excellence or even perfection. Second is consistently you should be efficient. Consistently. It is not question of, when you're in a good mood, you are efficient, otherwise you are not efficient. And then speed also. See, it is not that, for a job which you can finish in one day, you take 10 days. That is not speed also, consistency. And finally, human relationships are very important. In achieving your efficiency and excellence, you should not hurt 100 people around you. People with whom you live, people with whom you work, you have to keep harmonious human relationship. With this, that is yoga karmasu kaushalam. The next step is samatvam yoga uchyate. This is also from the Bhagavad Gita. See, what happens in spite of your best effort, many times you may not succeed. But if you are working with desire for the result, naturally you will be depressed. You will despair. And many times you may go into depression also. That is possible. See, when you come to the second step, God is required. Faith in God. Samatvam yoga uchyate means equanimity is yoga. Maintaining balance, equanimity in success and failure, pain and pleasure, that is yoga. There, faith in God is required. And you should learn to surrender to the will of God. Thy will be done, not mine. See, that is how you can maintain samatva or balance of mind in both success and failure. Therefore, there the necessity for faith in God, love for God, devotion to God, surrender to God comes in. So without surrender to God, you can't maintain equanimity in life. Success and failure are a part of life. Nobody can escape it. Nobody. Even if divine incarnation like Rama, Krishna, Sathya, Sai Baba, Sadguru, Madhusudan, Sai Shri Sai Baba, anyone, success and failure are there. If you have to take everything with a smile, no, that is where surrender to the will of God is very important. So that is second step, samatvam yoga uchyate. Third is karmanyeva adhikaraste mapaleshu kadachana. Means what? Here, you have to learn to give up desire for the immediate result for which you are working. Then what is the motivation for you? Suppose, you're a businessman, you're working for profit. Suppose you give up the desire for profit. What motivates you to do the business? Here, you have to replace a desire for the immediate result, whatever result you are working, with desire for God's grace. Desire, aspiration for anugraha pala, the fruit of divine grace, desire for that should replace all other desires. That is what it means. Motivation is there. What is the motivation? Whatever I am doing, I am studying. I am working in a factory. I am working in software field. I am doing my business. Whatever you are doing, instead of looking at the immediate result you are going to get, always desire for God's grace. I am doing everything for winning God's grace, which can bestow upon me everything in this world and in the other world. Both materially and spiritually, God will look after me if I win God's grace. Replace the desire for the immediate result with a desire for anugraha pala or divine grace. And that is the third step. Fourth step is when as you progress, you will know tat kurushva madarpanam. This is also a sentence from Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you are doing, offer it to me. Yat karoshi yadasnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. That is the last part. Tat, whatever you are doing, offer it to me. Yat karoshi, what you are doing. Yadasnasi, what you are eating. Yajjuhoshi, whatever yajna, yaga, sacrifice you are making. Whatever it is, as you are doing, offer it to me. This can be practiced. Like, in the beginning, before you start a work, think of God. Lord, I am offering it to you. Whatever I do, inspire me to do the right thing. And finally, I will offer it to you. Complete the work and finally offer it to God. That's how you start. But as you practice, Even as I am speaking, I know that I am doing it to please God. I know that I am doing it to win God's grace. Therefore, I am also offering it to Him. Whatever I am doing, it is inspired by Him. Therefore, I am offering it to Him. And the final step, it is not step, it is culmination, is nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. This is also, all these 5 sentences are from the Bhagavad Gita. You become an instrument in the hands of God. Even as I am speaking, I am aware that I am not doing it. It is He who is speaking through this loudspeaker. See, Narasimha Murthy is just a loudspeaker. And it is He who is speaking. See, that is the ultimate zenith of Karma Yoga, where you know that you are not doing anything. Everything is being done by God. And Shivaram was explaining, and also you saw in the video, the stupendous work that is happening all over. And one of these days he had come to this Prem Sadhana, this place where we senior Tyagajivis above 65 years, it's the hostel for us. And we live together. And the Sadguru had come. One of the senior Tyagajivis is over 90 years. And Sadguru was sitting with us under a tree. And he was so nonchalant, it was like childlike. And this 90-year-old Tyagajivi asked Sadguru, Swami, you are doing so much work all over the world. And how is it you are sitting here so happily like a child? And what Sadguru said is important. He said, I am not doing anything. It is the divine which is doing everything. Therefore, that is the final stage of Karma Yoga. Once again, I repeat the 5 sentences. First thing is you have to do your work perfectly, whether with result, with desire for result, without, with faith in God, without faith in God. The first step in Karma Yoga is learn to do your work perfectly, efficiently, in an excellent way. That is Yoga Karma Sukaushana. Second is Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Third is Karmanyevadikaraste Mapaleshu Kadachana. And fourth is Tat Kurushva Madarpanam. And finally, Nimitta Matram Bhava Savya Sachin. These are the 5 stepping stones. 5 steps are the 4 steps to reach the final one. To feel and experience all the time, you are just an instrument in the hands of God. See, that is the state of liberation. That is the state of salvation, where you always feel one with God and He is doing everything, and everything is the game. Everything is the drama. Therefore, you need not have to bother about anything, feel sad about anything. There's nothing to exult, nothing to despair. So that is the second part. And finally, many people ask this question. How do I know that I have progressed on this spiritual path? What does Bhagavad Gita say about that? See, last year, I started 10 years ago. Now, after 10 years, whether I have progressed. Bhagavad Gita gives 4 yardsticks, 4 criteria on the basis of which you can judge whether you have progressed or not. Even to judge the spiritual progress of even others, with whom you are associated, maybe you are guiding. These 4 yardsticks will help. I call it the ABCD of spiritual progress. A is awareness of inner joy. Atmanyev atmana tushtaha sthita prajnastadochyate. That's what the Bhagavad Gita says. That is, you are aware. See, 10 years back, you are not aware. You only depended on all pleasures of the world outside. You could derive happiness only from outside. But as you grow spiritually, one important thing is you will be able to just sit in a place and be happy. Be happy, everything is fine. God is doing everything. God is looking after everything. I need not have to worry. I am very ever happy. All the time I am happy. Awareness. A is awareness of inner joy. B is balance of mind. That is Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. As I said, in success and failure, we remain equanimous. We remain the same. We remain balanced. B is balance of mind. Suppose 10 years back, you did not enjoy as much balance of mind as you are enjoying today, you have made a progress. Otherwise, you have not made any progress. And then C is control over senses and mind. See, that is a real acid test. 10 years ago, to what extent I was able to restrain myself. Suppose instinctively some desire comes up in my mind. Was I just following it? Or was I just falling for it? Now what am I doing? Am I able to restrain it? Am I able to slow down a little? See, that is the third criterion, A, B, C. And finally, D is dedication to the welfare of others, welfare of the world. Loka Kalyana. 10 years ago, how selfish you were, and today have developed some selflessness. According to me, accept this, that is Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha, says the Bhagavad Gita. These four criteria are the real testing standards for anybody to judge oneself or even others regarding the spiritual progress. It doesn't depend on how many hours you sit and meditate, whether you wear Walker robes or you wear jeans and t-shirt, whether you wear white dress, whatever dress you are wearing is not important. Only these four yardsticks. A, awareness of inner joy. B, balance of mind. C, control of senses. And D, dedication to the welfare of the world. These are the 3 points I just wanted to make, which are quite practical and everybody can practice. Now I throw open the session for questions.